The Indian Space Research Organisation is all set to launch India's second lunar exploration mission, the Chandrayaan-2. The mission aims in putting India in the Asian space race alongside rival China and reinforcing its claim to be considered a global power. Chandrayaan-2 is made of 100% Indian-made satellites. Not only the technology but payloads have also been made indigenously. Indian academicians and research institutions designed the payloads. The mission is planned to be launched to the Moon by a geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle Mark III and includes a lunar orbiter, a lander named Vikram and a rover named as Pragyan. The initial joint collaboration between India and Russia on the lander unit failed to take off after the Russian lander developed problems. India then developed the entire lander module on its own and named it after Vikram A. Sarabhai, also known as the father of the Indian space program. There will be altogether 13 payloads in the spacecraft. 3 payloads will be in the rover and 10 payloads in the lander and the orbiter. According to the Space Agency, the launch window will be between July 9 and 16, and the Moon landing is expected to take place 2 months later, on September 6. According to ISRO, this mission will use and test various new technologies and conduct new experiments. The wheeled rover will move on the lunar surface and will perform on-site chemical analysis. The data will be relayed to Earth through the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter. Chandrayaan-2, weighing around 3,290 kg, would orbit around the Moon and perform the objectives of remote sensing the Moon. The payloads will collect scientific information on lunar topography, mineralogy, elemental abundance, lunar exosphere and signatures of hydroxyl and water ice. ISRO is cautious about Chandrayaan-2 as it is their first mission to land on any celestial body and it is refraining from any such failures. The mission has been delayed 4 times since March 2018. The launch of India's second lunar mission was initially planned in April last year, but ISRO kept deferring it because of the complexities involved in the mission. In fact, the 4-legged Vikram lander suffered a fracture in one of its legs during a test earlier this year. If successful, India will be the 4th country to land a rover on the Moon after China, the US and Russia. Israel made an attempt earlier this year but could not succeed. Chandrayaan-2 craft will be much more difficult than Israel's Bereshit. India's Moon mission, Chandrayaan-1, operated for 312 days as opposed to the intended 2 years, but the mission achieved 95% of its planned objectives. The mission aims to land near Moon's south pole. Rocks in this lunar region are thought to be 4 billion years old and could provide a precious source of nuclear energy. All previous lunar crafts have landed near the equator, and this is the first time one will land near the South Pole, a currently unexplored territory. The area is completely unknown, and experts leading the mission say it could pave the way for future lunar habitation if the water is located. In fact, the Chandrayaan-1 gave the first ever signatures of the presence of water molecules on the lunar surface. The 6-wheeled rover which will be landed will move around the landing site in semi-autonomous mode as decided by the ground commands. The rover will be housed inside the lander, which in turn is integrated with the orbiter. Lander will separate from the orbiter and soft land at the predetermined site close to the lunar south pole. The rover will roll out on the lunar surface from the lander and carry out scientific experiments on the Moon's surface. The rover will be powered by solar energy and will charge every lunar day, which is the same as 14 Earth days. The instruments on the rover will observe the lunar surface and send back data, which will be useful for analysis of the lunar soil.